Okay, do you want to guess what we're working on? I'll give you a hint here. So clearly there's going to be some issues here. And what's the temperature in the garage here? 60? So yeah, current temperature, especially right in this region here where the vent is blowing heat, is 60 degrees. And needs some assistance. Now, from what my understanding is from the internet, these factory struts here are 145 pounds for lifting. I'm going to replace those with a 175, and yeah, so and even when this is up all the way, it's still really close, just about hitting the head. And it did come down when it was really cold weather. I put it up and it ended up falling back down on me. So obviously this Gobi ladder here doesn't help the situation with the weight, but those struts from factory were weak. So we're going to replace those with some 175s. Alright, so the parts that I ordered, and I actually ordered incorrectly here. So you need 2 struts. And the part number is at 9416K147, and that's the extended length, 175 pounds of force. Need 2 of those. And then the things you'll need is this spring ball socket and safety clip that comes as a like a package deal. It's an M8 thread size, and then 10mm ID, that's for the ball. So here's the number for that, 9416K79. Those just thread on. Problem is, I only got 2, so that's only enough for 1. You can't reuse the ones from the original because the thread is different between the 2. So you got to buy the ends as well. So I'm waiting on McMaster-Carr here to drop off my other 2 ends to finish this project. So here's the factory strut that I took off. So yeah, my plan was that I would take this off, and I took this off the other one here. This just unthreads off this rod. So what I did was put this in a vise, and then this basically just spins right off. And I used this one and spin it on the new McMaster strut. However, the thread size is different. These use a smaller thread, and the McMaster ones are bigger. That's probably because the strut lifts more, maybe, I don't know, different brands. This end you can't take off, but this ball socket needs to be that 10mm size on both ends. So that's what the problem was with that. So I got to get 2 of their little silver ends to put on the other one, and then I'll show you how I did it. And I'll put one of these back on just to show you how easy it is to pop these off. Okay, so we're looking at, this is the old factory strut here. Lifting arm, whatever you want to call it. You don't reuse anything from this on a newer model, so I got a 2015 Nissan Xterra. I think on older models, I don't know the exact year, but I think on older models you take off this end and that'll work on the same strut that I bought from McMaster-Carr, and it won't work on this one. So to get them off, so if this was still on the vehicle, I'm not going to try to show you it, me taking it off the vehicle. There's I think there's videos of those elsewhere. But boy, this really is, there you go, now it's in focus. It's pretty simple. You see there's a slot here. All I did was take a flat blade screwdriver here. You just take that and kind of get it in there. And then one side will pop up. And you're not reusing these. You may have to if you got an older Xterra. And usually they go flying because they're under spring tension. And then on this part here, you just pull it off the ball that's in there. So that goes pretty easy. This side, the clip's just a little bit bigger, but it's the same type of deal. There's room to get a flat blade screwdriver in there, and you're just going to spin it till it's loose. Let's see if I can get this one so it doesn't fly away. There you go. So, and then that's what this clip looks like. So, and like I said, older model, I think you can unthread this, and the threading in here must be bigger, so it works with the other struts or whatever. These, they're not, so you can't, so you actually got to buy 2 sets. So, there you go. Alright, so these parts here that I had to order separate because I didn't order enough of them the first time finally just arrived, so I can finish this project here. So these are the ends, and these just thread on. So you just got to make sure you get the right ball size and this ID diameter here. Make sure that that's right, and then make sure your thread pattern's the right size. And this one is obviously a little bit bigger. So to do this, then all I did, I just thread them on. I don't put any never sees or Loctite or anything like that on there. I don't think it's really necessary. I did use I think I used the pliers or needle nose or something just to kind of turn it. You can't tighten it too much because the rod is going to want to turn. So, and then what I learned by putting the other one on is that when you put them on, it makes sense, one, to make sure that you have these balls lined up the same direction, these ends that you're putting on. So like right now I have this one facing this way, and then the other one is facing the opposite direction. So, and that's easy to fix. All you got to do, well, these are made in the United States. Look at that. Here's the, I don't know if it'll focus or not. Maybe if I do this. And maybe not. There it is, kind of. There you go. So, I have really super high hopes for these being super amazing, because they are also not only more pounds lifting, but they're also supposed to lift the gate higher than what it would factory come. Let me get a bigger thing on this. Okay, so what I put on here then, this is just a 13mm Craftsman, and I'm just going to take that and spin this until it's the same direction, or pretty close. So that's what I did. You probably didn't see that, but I just put it on like, how did I do that? Like this. Just putting it on like that, and then you just spin the rod. So now when you look at the ends of this here, they're both facing the same or similar direction. And that's important because if you end up putting this end on first onto the car, because it kind of like snaps on, and this end is facing the wrong direction, you can't spin it because this end doesn't spin. So if you put this end on first and you need to spin it, you can like rotate this part of the strut here to get this opposite end to line up. So I would always start with this end first, even if you got them close, both ends close. Start with that end first. You're gonna have much better success. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is have someone hold up the lift gate while you do this. So lift it up. Okay, and then all you're doing is popping these in, and I have the old strut. That's convenient. Here, let's use this one. So this is the new one here, and like I said, all you got to do is pop these in, and start with the one on this end here first. And just kind of line it up, and just kind of give it a push. It pops in. Lift it up a little bit more yet. 4. Okay, and then it just pops in, and that should be that, like both at once. Woo! Staying up by itself. Yes! Let's just check it here. Ooh! Wow! Someone's gonna lose their head. That lifts up really easy. Wow! And it's super, look at the distance here. This is just amazing. Alright, that's good. Okay, so this is the one that is fixed that you really got no control over, so you want to make sure that you get that in the right spot. Here's the other end. That's kind of how it looks. Now, what they give you these are like the little, I got a lot of light out here today, the little safety keepers. Let me set one down. I can just do it like this. I got enough light. So that's what it looks like, and you're just gonna slide that over. That's not real easy, so the way I've did it is I grab it with a needle nose, so it kind of looks like that, and I'm just gonna push it over. So I didn't, like I said, I already did the other side here. So, and the way I put them on is like this. So as it's gonna look like that. Let me straighten this out, because these go on pretty hard, and these must be like a safety so they don't fall off. This is some really fine camera work here. Alright, so it looks like that. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oops. And then I just kind of push it on. Ooh, I think I got it. Yeah. There you go. That one's on. And is that right? I think so. And then the bottom one here, I'm going to do the same type of thing. Just going to kind of load it like that. And then we're going to get that. So it's like this. Oops. Okay, so I'm wrong. I had the other ones on wrong too. If you look, there's a little hole right in here. So you lift this out, and this clip has got a longer part. That longer part needs to go right in this hole, like that. Oops. I just had it. Of course, now when you get the camera going, there. Oops. Like that. And it slides down, and then when it's down all the way, this will line up right in that groove. So that's the way it's supposed to go. I actually had it doing nothing. So I'll have to go and double check all these to make sure I got them in like that. So that's what the hole is for. That's so that this can't accidentally pop off. Okay, so here's another shot of the one on top here. You can see, so this rod of that keeper needs to go all the way across, and then there's a hole. Probably can't see it. There's a hole up on top there too, and that's what holds this ball from popping off, because that rod gets behind that ball to hold this keeper on. So these two I got on. They weren't too bad. This one here, I got it in, but it's not lining up with the hole on the bottom here. So, and I've tried moving this back and forth. I think what I got to do is lift the gate up a little bit higher to get some space, or maybe really slam this in. I don't know. It almost looks like the whole thing needs to go in further. So I'll see what I can do with that. This last one here is definitely a trick to get it in. It just did not want to sit in there, and the clip is kind of bent up now. Let's see if I can straighten that. This one here, it's a trick to get those two holes to line up, because there's a hole that runs, you know, all the way through this, so that the ball can't pop off. So here it is lifted up. I think you saw just a little bit of that, but definitely much higher. All right, so here it is opening now. This is what it shut all the way. So yeah, definitely will take itself all the way up. A ton of extra room here, so that's cool. Let's check these, make sure it doesn't pop out. So the 175-pound struts definitely do the job. There's definitely some force, like right in this range here. Push it down. Man, look at that! Woo! But that thing lifts like a champ. Granted, now the garage is 62 degrees, so you know that makes a difference too. I'm sure in cold weather it may act a little different, but so there you go. That's a finished project.